Speaking of Mars, I know you run a Mars weather page on Twitter. I know you kind of keep up with some of the stuff, so we thought it'd be kind of cool to tie in Mars weather, your Twitter page. What all you monitor? How you get that information? How does that? How do you provide Mars weather forecasts and observations?
So we don't forecast yet. We're hoping to have enough data here one day that we can start having a forecasting product. We'll certainly need something like that once we get those boots on Mars. But right now it focuses on the InSight mission. It's pulling data down close to daily. There's a lot of data that has to come down, and unfortunately the weather data sometimes gets pushed to the back if there's images or things like that that the science team needs right away, especially when we were working with InSight trying to get a temperature probe to finally be pushed into the Martian soil there. I think everybody that's ever put a spade into the ground in the Carolinas knows what that clay is like. So it was dealing with some of that same problem up on Mars. Those images that were helping them understand that problem, those took precedent. But anyway, we do see data come down from InSight, and that is delivered through the same mechanism that all those pictures are delivered through. It's called the Deep Space Network. Generally, most of these, both the rovers and this InSight mission, have the ability to communicate straight back to Earth, but they don't tend to do that. They tend to upload the images and other data every time an orbiter goes over. And that orbiter acts like a router and store and forward that information once it sees Earth again. It's a little faster that way, and there's a little more bandwidth. But we see that data come down. I know she just popped that up. So we see temperature data, we see air pressure. I find air pressure to be some of the most interesting there. And then we see wind data as well. So the last one that came up was from Sol 566, and Sol is a day on Mars, and that equates back to the 29th of June. It's the last time we saw something from it. As you can see there, the low was 25, which is, I'm sorry, the high was 25, the low was 126 below zero, and these are both Fahrenheit. And each day on this Mars weather Twitter, it goes and randomly picks a city somewhere, and Clayton just happened to be picked up there. Last time it was doing a comparison. So you can see the comparison there. But again, the most interesting comparison in my mind is the pressure. So, we were seeing about 1,012 hectopascals, which I think equates to millibars. You guys keep me honest there. That's what y'all speak in. Yes. And that on Mars is about 7.7 hectopascals. So that's one of our biggest challenges on Mars, is the lack of atmosphere. It's just really, really, really thin there, and it continues to be stripped away by the solar winds. And that's not something that we're going to be able to correct anytime soon, but perhaps ever.
So I guess there's really no wind chill there. I mean, I'm looking at 25 degrees with a 37 mile per hour wind gusts. That's not really a wind chill there then.
Yeah, not too bad. We do see temperatures go above freezing there. It does happen.
Yeah. So Tony, I mean, obviously you're not using tri-cup anemometers or RM Youngs. I mean, how is this? How is wind speed capture? Is it using like Venturi effect, or you're consolidating the air into a point, or how is that measured exactly?
So the thing to look up is an instrument called a hot dice. It is a couple of basically electrodes that are exposed out there and are measuring differentials. They are without moving parts. That's really, really important when you've got a robot out there that you can't go service. There is no Home Depot on Mars to go get spare parts.
Well, you said one last thing. You kind of mentioned that it does get above freezing on Mars. I wonder if you could just real briefly speak to the general temperature range. How cold does it get in winter? How warm does it get in summer?
Yeah, we're talking around negative 200 Fahrenheit with the lows. And during the summer, most of the time we're talking in the average temperature there is hovering around negative 80, negative 100.
I just think it's cool. You have a mesonet on Mars.
We do. We got two of them now, about to put a third.